So our next guest spent 9 years at West Ham. He's here, he's there, he's every effing where. It's John Moncur. Welcome to your debut, John.
It's nice to hear them words again.
We're so excited to speak to you, but we were saying we just don't know what to expect from you, because I mean we've had Ian Bishop on, we've had Martin Allen, John Hartson, and they've told us a lot of stories about you.
Yeah, all good, I hope.
Well, just interesting. What we wanted to do actually was start off with some Mythbusters, because as I said, we spoke to those, and we spoke to those men I just named, and one of the stories was that you used to occasionally train naked. Is there any truth behind that rumour?
Well, to be fair, there was one occasion, I'll be honest with you. We, back in the day, we was a little bit short of kit, and basically it was first come, first served, to be honest with you. But when, obviously the colder days, all the tracksuits went, and I got fed up with coming in and basically not having a top or not having a pair of bottoms. So I come in one morning, I'd had a bad morning anyway, I remember, and I asked Eddie at the time, he was a lovely fella, but didn't have a lot of discipline with the tops and stuff, and he said, nah, I think it was -1 and it was raining, and I said, you're having a laugh, aren't you? He said, no, Monk, he said, they're all gone. I said, oh, fucking gone. He said, I've been here 8 years, what do you mean, I can't have a tracksuit top? He said, sorry, mate, and so I thought, right, I've had enough of this. Time to make a stand. So basically, I flew out there with nothing on, and I actually put my boots on, funny enough, and come tearing out the door. And I said, right, lads, I'm taking the warm up today. Well, you imagine the boys are all falling over laughing. So I've flown into this puddle. There was a puddle about 20 yards away. It was raining. I've done the old swan dive into it, the Klinsman, and I think Harry clocked me running by the window and nearly had a heart attack. But that was it. I mean, it seemed like a funny idea at the time, but after I hit the puddle, I thought, I wasn't so sure.
Did you go back for some extra kit, or did you? How much of the training session did you have?
Funny enough, they all screaming at me to get in because apparently Sky had turned up or something. Hadn't quite set their cameras up, which was the result. Yeah.
That's a shame. That could have been on Question of Sport. What happened next for years?
Yeah.
Ian Bishop as well. While we're on the topic of Mythbusters, he mentioned that you had a nickname at the club.
Oh, Bish.
Yeah.
Well, I had a few, but I mean, Bish was always. I had a few good days with Bish.
Yeah.
And yeah, I mean, I probably had 3 nicknames, but with him it was mainly he used to call me Harry Belafonte, was one of them. Johnny Belafonte, because I used to get up and I always drank brandy then.
Yeah.
And and he'd say obviously 2 or 3 pints and a brandy and Diet Coke for Johnny Belafonte. The other 2 nicknames, one was the Maggot, I won't tell you why. Perhaps on that cold day you'll realise.
Yeah, I was going to say, did -1 have anything to do with it?
Yeah, exactly. But no, there were some great lads then. I mean, the boys you had on there, they're great characters, and it's changed a little bit now, the game. It's perhaps got a little bit more serious, if you like, and science has come into it a lot more. But, you know, we've done things serious, don't get me wrong, but we had a good time doing it, and them boys you mentioned were real good characters.
Yeah, I mean, we were lucky enough to speak to quite a few of the characters, and I mean, what was Julian Dix like as well? Was he seemed to be like one of the lads?
Yeah, Dixie was a great lad. I mean, I just like playing with him, to be honest with you, because he sort of inspired you. You know, if you was a little bit like I was, if you like, he was one of them that, you know, once you went out on the park, you knew what you were going to get, and if it was an hard game and a battle, you know, and you see him sort of crunching into someone, because he wasn't dirty, to be fair. He was hard and fair, you know.
Yeah.
So yeah, he was a good lad. Yeah, we had over that 9 years I was there. I mean, probably, there was probably 50 players that I would sort of have played with, you know, and a lot of them were real good characters.
Yeah, well, let's go back to the start of your West Ham career. So you came from Swindon, and I heard that Jamie Redknapp was the one who recommended you to Harry.
Yeah, I mean, I probably played my first sort of couple of games against Jamie, and I had a real good time at Anfield, funny enough. I scored there and created. We drew 2-2, which no one gives us a prayer really at Swindon, because we were losing 9 every week. But obviously playing against someone, you know, Jamie was a quality player, and playing at sort of matches where they were football matches, if you like, I got a lot of the ball and done well. And I think, you know, Jamie did say he's probably the best midfielder, or one of the best midfielders he played against that year, so probably had something to do with me kept going there.
Yeah, I mean, was it a tough sell to come West Ham? Did Harry Redknapp have to do a job on you to convince you?
Well, be honest with you, I did speak to Chelsea. Chelsea had agreed the same price as West Ham, and I'll be honest with you, because it was Glenn Hoddle that had gone to Chelsea, it took me to Swindon. It was obviously appealing to me, you know. If I'd have probably followed Odd and gone to Chelsea, I might have played for England, because that sometimes happens with managers. Once they like you, they take you everywhere.
Yeah.
But I'll be honest, obviously coming out of the area, being born out of the area, and my granddad had passed away a few years before, and he was out and out West Ham. He was like Alf Garnett, you know, in the programme. And I think that had quite a lot to do with it, to be honest with you, from a personal side. So it was a tough decision to make, but I feel I made the right one, because, you know, as I say, I had 9 good years there.
Yeah, and I mean, you're literally a legend in the eyes of most West Ham fans.
That's nice to hear.
Was it much of a culture shock coming from Swindon to West Ham? What was like those early days like?
Well, no, I mean, West Ham, it was sort of, you know, Swindon was a sort of low budget club, if you like. We got in the Premiership and was punching above our weight. And the early days at West Ham was brilliant. You know, we used to go in and have pie and mash. I couldn't believe it. Shirley used to cook, you know, it was one of them. It was a little bit old school, if you like. And Billy Bonds was obviously the manager that signed me officially. Although, sort of, as I say, Harry had a lot to do with it. And Billy had sadly went after about 3 or 4 weeks, which was a blow to me, because obviously I see him as the manager, you know.
Sure.
So that was a shock at the start of it all. But I thought it was a club that suited me, you know. It was, you know, the banter was there. It was an old East End club, if you like, back then. We had a lot of people that had been there years, great people behind the club, behind closed doors, if you like Jimmy Frith and people like Ronnie Boyce and Peter Braybrook, you know, even Jimmy Anson and people like that. Real good characters, and I felt at home there, you know. I could have a laugh with them all. I got on well with them all, so it suited me.
Yeah. So, I mean, that first season was a bit of a struggle, because I think it was a bit of a relegation battle. I mean, how worried were you that West Ham might end up going down?
Yeah, it was a worry, because, you know, although I thought that was a fairly good season, we ended up, I think we had to, out of the last 4 games, if you like, we had Liverpool, who were third, Blackburn, who won the title, and we also had Man United. So basically we had to get 6 points. I think one of the games might have been Wimbledon, Palace away or something like that, which was hard because they were relegation, and we lost to them 1-0. But luckily enough, we beat Blackburn 2-1, I think it was, on a live Sunday game, and then beat Liverpool on the Wednesday 3-0, and we were safe. And it was, you know, it was party time against Man United.
Yeah.
And actually, we just enjoyed the day, and we enjoyed it even more when we stopped the winning the title.
I was going to ask about that. You've been involved with quite a few like famous games for West Ham, and I think that game against Man United at home was one of your big first ones. I mean, could you see yourself getting a point that day?
Not really, like, because, you know, we were safe. It was we'd been out probably celebrating, to be honest with you. And we turned up, and I can remember the game really well, funny enough. And we were like unbelievable first half. We outplayed them. We were 1-0 up and absolutely murdered them. I remember sort of I stuck one over the bar nearly, you know, from the edge of the box. Someone else had a good chance. We could have been 2 or 3 up. And then obviously what you'd expect second half, they're going for the title, and it was like the Alamo last half hour. Completely battered us, and I remember Ludo pulling off 2 or 3 great saves to keep them out, tell you the truth.
Yeah, I mean, that was a great game. And another great game, if we fast forward a few years, the 5-4 win over Bradford, including a pretty decent goal from yourself.
Oh, yeah, that was madness, that game. I remember Shaq broke his leg. I think it was early on in the thing, which shook us up a little bit. We knew he was hurt, and I think Stevie Bywater come on, who was a funny sort of young player, and he used to get a lot of stick. And
he wasn't the brightest, wasn't he, allegedly?
He weren't the brightest, and he had plenty of confidence, and that day he had his oven gloves on. I mean, he was patting them in the net, and it was just, I think we was 4-2 down. He'd let in 3 ridiculous goals. And I remember, to be fair, they had the screens put up on the side. Yeah. It was I think it was the first time they was ever up. And one of them had a shot from, I don't know who it was, one of the Bradford players sort of bobbled a shot, and as if his afternoon, was bad enough, he was looking up at the screen at himself, because it was paying on him, and the ball's coming towards the far post, and everyone's screaming at him to dive. And needless to say, he didn't play after that many games.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, it was a few years.
To be fair, it was a mad game. I mean, we had the Di Canio Lampard issue with penalty, and we ended up winning 5-4, didn't we? I think.
Yeah, that was the one, 5-4.
Yeah.
I
scored and took my shirt off. I remember trying to put it back on.
That's exactly what I was going to ask you about. You really struggled with that shirt.
Took me about 10-15 seconds, and as I've got it on and sort of calmed myself down, the ball's come in the air, and I've given a penalty away. Saunders is back in, and I've half pushed him, if you like, and he's gone over. And I remember Harry having a go at me half time, and I said, well, let me celebrate a goal. I haven't scored for 6 months.
You scored quite a few good goals for us. Like one that always stuck in my mind, I think, was away to Bristol Rovers in the League Cup. We just pinged it into the top corner and then just turned around.
Yeah. I scored quite a few with the left foot that was sort of long range goals, even the clubs previous and when I'd been out on loan. And you're right, I got one at Bristol Rovers, I think in the League Cup, that just nestled into the top corner from about 30 yards. And one at Villa away, which was a real important game.
Course,
the bottom. Yeah, and I for some reason I could get it, sort of hit it harder on my left foot, although I was right-footed, if you like. I was quite two-footed, so yeah, it was nice to see him go in.
Well, as well as the goals, there was also a few bookings along the way in your West Ham career. I mean, James, the co-presenter, was just telling me he used to run a little bit of a book about how soon you could be on the pitch before getting booked. Was that something you always like? Were you trying to get booked sometimes?
No, a lot of people was sort of saying you at it because of the spread betting had come out and the internet betting and all that, and people thought it was a bit of a laughing joke. But I'll be honest with you, I think what it was probably later on more so because you lose a yard of pace. You're not perhaps as switched on of what's around you, and the actions are a little bit slower. But because you've still got the desire to want to, do well, and perhaps they got worse as I got older, if you like, So, yeah. But there wasn't, I didn't get sent off a lot.
No, we were just looking at that. It was only 3 times at West Ham you got sent off. It's nothing hardly anything in 9 years.
So I could control it, but it was one of them. I think a lot of them. I think what it is, you're so eager to do well, and towards the end, I was more of a substitute, and you come on and you really want to make an impact, and
literally,
as I say, a little bit eager.
The other thing that I used to find funny is if you were a substitute, you went to run up down the side of the pitch, you'd do a loop around the corner flag, like onto the pitch. I mean, is that allowed? I always wondered.
No. A lot of things I used to do on the touchline warming up weren't allowed, but I remember a woman linesman once, she weren't too pleased with some of the antics going on. But I think what it is, as you say, it's probably the last 2 or 3 years in my career where I weren't playing regular.
Yeah.
And, I suppose you're out there for entertainment as well a little bit. The crowd, the way they are, I warm to them, I like the sense of humour that they've got. They're all East End boys, or families are from, they're all local, if you like. And it's got that, West Ham's always had that tradition, so it probably made me a little bit worse, to be honest, because they laugh at you.
Well, you don't get players with personalities much anymore, and that's part of the reason why we all loved you.
Yeah, I think, as I say, the game has changed. The foreign players are a little bit different in their approach. They're brought up different than they as kids, and I think they would see that as something that you don't do, if you like. And managers, I suppose, with the foreign managers coming in, perhaps a lot of them don't realise sort of the English way of doing things, especially at certain clubs, And as long as I think, to be honest, as long as you've got a good attitude and you're double serious when you get on the pitch, that's the thing. I think you can have a bit of fun while you're doing it. And also, it relaxes you to a point. Certain players, I needed that to make myself feel a little bit more confident or relaxed, if you like. That's my way of doing it. A lot of lads are quiet in the dressing room. I was always loud and up to things because it made me feel better or cocky or more confident.
I mean, you were quite a character. I wondered, was there anyone who would match you as being much of a character, that kind of loud presence in the dressing room over your
there was a lot over the sort of period of time. I think you had all different characters that done things in their own ways, but from people like Ian Dowie was a character, Ian Wright, Johnny Hartson in his own way, Neil Ruddock, as you said, Ian Bishop, Martin Allen.
Yeah.
There was a load, and that was the sort of the West Ham way of doing things, and a lot of clubs that bring through players or have got affiliation to local lads and everything else, they say the same thing.
Last couple of questions. When you look back over your whole kind of West Ham career, what for you was your finest moment?
I think, to be honest with you, probably finishing my career.
Really?
And I hadn't played under Roda all year, and I kept knocking on his door, to be honest, and I said, look, I know we've got a quality team, there's a lot of internationals, a lot of young players, but we're getting relegated. You've got to change it. But he was adamant that I was sort of too old. So I only made 6 or 7 appearances as a sub, and I couldn't really do nothing about it, which hurt me because for 8 years previous we hadn't been relegated.
Yeah.
And it was a blow to finish on that note, even though I hadn't played, if you like. But to finish off and sort of the last game of the season and go round the pitch and get the reception I did, because I think a lot of people knew the contract was up, was probably the proudest moment for me.
Right. I mean, just on the point of that season, did it feel like we were going to get relegated? Did you just could see it coming?
Yeah, I think that from a sort of fair way out. I mean, I remember Trevor Brooking come in, didn't he? Because Glenn had gone ill. But you could see that sort of maybe the dressing room had been lost a little bit, and you look at it and you could see the danger signs. I could anyway.
I mean, it's also quite a shame that you finished on 9 years and didn't get to have a testimonial. You're only 1 year out. Especially, I mean, you could have done a job in the Championship, surely.
Oh yeah, I mean that's a blow. But I mean, to be honest, it's down to the manager, isn't it?
Yeah.
Everyone's different. I think if Harry would have been there, he would have definitely given me it because I've been there from the day one he'd become a manager. I think but a new man comes in and he's got different issues and different sort of ideas. I think he'd already promised Rob Lee the sort of position that I would have took, which would have been an experienced player that comes on off the bench and plays a certain number of games. So I don't think there was, in his plans, I don't think that I was in them. which was a blow because, as you say, 10 years it would have been a great send-off for me. But you know, that's life, and you get on with it.
Absolutely. Well, I mean, lastly, the Moncur name still living long in at West Ham. Your son George. I mean, what are your hopes for George?
Yeah, I mean, George, I think he'd be a good player. I'll be honest with you, he's had a terrible year for him, if you like, after what happened at Nottingham Forest.
Yeah, sure.
I think it was unfair, and I don't, you know, I'm not bitter or anything like that, but it was just ridiculous what happened there for all the kids.
Yeah.
It ain't the thing you do to young boys. I mean, basically, if you got any, if you like a player and you got any hope for him to do well, you know, like all good clubs do or managers, they blood them in around into good teams. Basically, that was just throwing them to the lions. So he's had to put up with that and all the stick that, you know, he got and they got. I said, listen, if you're not wanted at West Ham, which is sad because he's obviously grown up with me being there, and it's his club and he loves the club.
Yeah.
You just got to be strong, move on, and you know, keep doing your best, and that's what he's doing. I mean, he's gone on loan in Scotland, and he's all right up there. He's learning, and you know, he will be a good player, I think, one day. But he needs to sort of get a chance at the right place now and show people what he can do. It may be at West Ham, it may not.
Yeah, we hope he does.
Yeah.
Yeah, with fingers crossed.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right.
Well, John, thank you so much for your time this evening. It's an absolute pleasure to talk to you.
Yeah, thank you.
I mean, literally a legend in our eyes.
Cheers, lads. I enjoyed it.
Yeah, you're a proper star. Thank you, John.
Cheers, John.
All the best.
See you.
Take it easy. Thank you.
Ciao.